Only 69 of these ever left the factory, not 690, not 6,900, 69. And the man who forced Chevrolet to build them almost went bankrupt doing it. This car was so expensive, so impractical, and so brutally fast that most of the dealers who ordered it couldn't even sell them. Some sat on showroom floors for over a year. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why Chevrolet tried to quietly bury this car's own paperwork and why that cover-up is the reason it's worth over $1 million today. This is the story of the rarest muscle car to come out of the 1960s. Not the Hemi Cuda, not the Superbird, not even the famous Yenko Camaro. We're talking about a car so obscure that most muscle car fans have never even seen one in person. Built through a loophole so strange that Chevrolet's own engineers didn't think anyone would actually use it. Welcome to Car Classic. Today, we're tearing into the full verified story of the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, the car General Motors never wanted you to know existed. Before we get to the real answer, let's talk about the cars people assume are the rarest. The 1970 Plymouth Superbird gets thrown out a lot. It's rare, for sure. Plymouth built somewhere around 1,935 of them, and only 135 came with the legendary 426 Hemi engine. That's genuinely scarce. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona is even tighter at just 503 units, purely to qualify for NASCAR homologation. Then there's the 1971 Hemi Cuda convertible. Only 11 were ever built, and today a single one can sell for over $3 million. Even the Yenko Camaro, the car most collectors point to first, isn't actually the winner here. Don Yenko's Pennsylvania dealership special ordered 201 Camaros through Chevrolet's Central Office Production Order System, or COPO, and had them converted with the 427 L72 engine. That's rare, it's iconic, but it's not the rarest. The car that actually holds that title used the exact same loophole Yenko used, COPO, but pushed it somewhere almost nobody else dared to go. In 1968, a small-town Illinois Chevy dealer named Fred Gibb wanted to build the ultimate drag racing Camaro. He teamed up with a Chevrolet product manager named Vince Piggins, who had access to a nearly unused racing engine sitting in GM's parts bin, the ZL1. This wasn't a normal 427, it was an all-aluminum big block originally engineered for a Can-Am road racing, based on the fearsome L88 architecture, and it weighed 100 pounds, or around there, less than the cast-iron version. The catch? NHRA's Super Stock rules required a minimum of 50 production cars to legalize a new engine for competition. Most people would have walked away. Fred Gibb didn't. He personally committed to ordering all 50. Chevrolet activated the order under the code COPO 9560. On New Year's Eve of 1968, in the middle of a snowstorm, the first two ZL1 Camaros arrived at Gibb's dealership, so cold they wouldn't even start. His crew had to tow them off the truck. 48 more followed in March 1969. This is the moment the rarest muscle car of the decade was born, and almost nobody outside that dealership knew it had happened. Now here's the part that made the car both legendary and a commercial disaster. A base 1969 Camaro started around $2,700. The ZL1 engine option alone, just the engine, cost an additional $4,160. By the time taxes, mandatory equipment, and dealer markup were added, a fully loaded ZL1 Camaro stickered for around $7,200 to $7,800, which is roughly double the price of a Camaro with the top L78 396 engine and translates to more than $60,000 in today's money. Think about that for a moment. In 1969, you could buy an engine option that cost more than most entire cars on the lot. Chevrolet had essentially built a race car, and slapped a street legal price tag on it that nobody sane would pay for driving daily. Fred Gibb ordered 50 of these, expecting drag racers and enthusiasts to snap them up. He sold just 13. The remaining 37 sat unsold, and Chevrolet had to quietly redistribute them to other dealerships across the country just to get rid of them. That's the cover-up that we teased at the start. Not a scandal in the criminal scene, but a genuine internal scramble to hide a commercial failure. An additional 19 were later special ordered by other performance dealers, bringing the grand total to exactly 69 cars sold through 41 different dealerships nationwide. So why would anyone pay that much? Because underneath the hood was a genuine monster. The ZL1's official rating was a conservative 430 horsepower, but that number was intentionally lowballed for insurance purposes. Real output on the drag strip suggested closer to 500 plus horsepower once tuned. Dick Harrell, the mechanic Gibb hired to prep the very first car, took it to the AHRA Winter Nationals in Phoenix just 3 weeks after delivery and ran a 10.41 second quarter mile at 120 miles per hour in race trim with the stock carburetor, then dipped into the 10.2s with a dual carb setup. Every ZL1 also came loaded with heavy-duty equipment most buyers never asked for: power front disc brakes, a Harrison 4-core radiator, transistorized ignition, multi-leaf rear springs, and a functional cowl induction hood. This wasn't a package built for comfort, it was built to survive a season of abuse at the drag strip. And that's exactly what it did. The original Gibb Harrell car went on to set a AHRA Pro Stock record of 9.63 seconds at 143 miles per hour in 1971 and won a national championship. Here's the twist that not a lot of people hear about. Because these cars were bought specifically to race, dealers and racers had zero interest in preserving them as showpieces. Many were immediately stripped, tubed out with wider tire wells, and modified beyond recognition to stay competitive. Original sheet metal and numbers matching engines became incredibly rare almost immediately, not decades later. Today, historians estimate fewer than 40 of the original 69 ZL1 Camaros still survive in anything resembling their factory configuration. The very first car, the Gibb Harrell ZL1, disappeared from public view for years after its racing career ended, only resurfacing again when a Chevy engineer and ZL1 obsessive named Bill Porterfield caught wind of its whereabouts in 1983. He spent the next 5 years tracking the car down through two separate owners before finally acquiring it in 1988. That's not a footnote, that's a 5-year manhunt for a single car most of America didn't know existed. So what does the rarest muscle car of the 1960s sell for today? The Gibb Harrell car, car number 1 of 69, is considered priceless by most collectors and rarely changes hands. Other numbered ZL1 Camaros have sold at auction for over $1,094,500, and top condition examples have been valued well past $1 million, with some estimates suggesting the very best surviving cars could command more than that in a private sale. That's an engine option that once sat unsold on dealer lots because nobody wanted to pay $4,160 for it. So the next time someone brings up the Superbird, the Hemi Cuda, or even the Yenko as the rarest muscle cars of the decade, you'll know the real answer sits quietly at just 69 units, a car born from one stubborn Illinois dealer, nearly killed by its own price tag and saved from obscurity by pure obsession decades later. There are stories like this hiding in almost every corner of automotive history. Cars that were commercial failures the moment they hit the lot, and legends the moment collectors realized what they'd actually bought. I've got another one of those buried in the research pile right now, and it might just change how you look at the muscle car era all over again. If you want to be here when it drops, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. because you will not want to miss this next one. Drop a comment and let me know which classic or muscle car you think deserves the spotlight next.